Hello and welcome back to All About Community. As I indicated when we went to break that my next guest would be Pamela Ferran, who is a community activist, lawyer, and really a person who is engaged with the NAACP and other organizations. So Pamela, welcome to All About Community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harris. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Well, let's just talk a little bit about your education, where you grew up, and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about yourself so that our viewers can appreciate more why you do what you do.
Thank you so much. So I grew up on the peninsula, Daly City, Pacifica area. Went to Daly City Public Schools, a very diverse area. It was kind of everyone and everything, so learned about a lot of different cultures. And then I went to high school in San Francisco. So I went to St. Ignatius.
St. Ignatius,
Yeah.
I've heard of that high school.
Yeah, I hope so. So I went to SI. That was a bit of a fish out of water coming from, Daly City, going to that school. But I excelled there. And then I went to Howard University for my undergrad.
Howard University. I love Howard University.
Yeah.
Some of my great friends over the years come through Howard University.
Yeah, it was a fabulous experience. I wouldn't change it for the world. I highly recommend students choose black colleges, and loved Howard, and then went on to earn my law degree.
At Howard?
No, at Loyola in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
So I've kind of moved all around.
Down in New Orleans.
Yep.
Well, that's where the National Medical Association will be meeting shortly.
Oh, good.
And my wife will be going.
Oh, fabulous.
And I will be off to the National Bar Association convention.
It's a great city. It's a fabulous city.
Yeah, well,
really coming back.
New Orleans is really what's happening. It's an exciting place. At the moment, hot as all get out.
Yeah.
But
This is true.
But it's a great place. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you did before you started to work with Councilman Lauren Taylor.
Yeah, and I will start that story kind of where we started with in high school. So I've always been interested in going to law school. My mother, most of my families were postal workers. And my mother said, I want you got a choice, either doctor or lawyer. I didn't know much about either one.
and you chose to be a lawyer.
And I chose to be a lawyer. I like to write, and I also always had an interest in government and politics. So even in high school, I volunteered in Senator Dianne Feinstein's office.
Oh, you did?
While I was in high school, I used to take the bus in San Francisco.
Good.
And then when I chose to go to Howard, one of the reasons I chose Howard, because it was in D.C. It was either Spelman or Howard, and Howard is in D.C. And so while at Howard, I interned at a black lobbying firm. I interned on the Capitol Hill and majored in political science. So that's something politics is just always something I've been interested in. And then after law school, I decided to open my own practice. But at the same time—
Did you come back to California?
Yes.
Okay.
After kind of bouncing around with D.C. and the South, I decided that California—
To come home.
Yes, exactly. I decided to come home because there's no place like the Bay. And I specifically—
I like that. No place like the Bay.
Yeah, it is. It's truly a special place. And then I specifically chose Oakland. My husband's from New Orleans, so he kind of didn't really have a—
And your husband also is a lawyer.
Yes, he's also a lawyer, also went to a black college. He went to Tennessee State, so we have that in common. We're both strong believers in black colleges.
Yeah.
And yes, I chose Oakland because growing up, even though I grew up on the other side of the Bay, I always thought of Oakland as that black city, as a great place to raise a black family.
Unfortunately, it ain't too black anymore.
Exactly. But in my mind growing up, it was always—
It was.
Festival
it was a
at the
great
lake.
city. Right.
You came for soul food restaurants.
Absolutely.
And so I always thought that's where, a great place to raise a family, a black family. So chose to move to Oakland and East Oakland. Opened my law practice.
Wise decision.
Yeah, thank you.
You opened your law practice and what?
But at the same time, the politics never really left. The public service, those I always continued to kind of volunteer in the community and volunteer on various campaigns and things. And so finally, after 10 years of practicing, I thought maybe I could pursue this full time.
Yeah,
public service.
I want to
full-time.
pursue my real passion.
There you have it. I mean, and a lot of lawyers do that, right? 10 years.
Of course. A lot of lawyers do that.
After 10 years, you kind of think about it because you're either going to kind of, really excel in that and go forward with, more important cases, or what else could I do?
Sure.
And I just thought about what I've always done for free or in my spare time, which was being engaged with politics. And so it just happened to be when I was going through this transition that we had this man that was running for office in my district.
Now, were you involved in the Lauren's campaign?
I was not.
Lauren Taylor.
Yes, I was not involved in the campaign. I knew we both have small children, and we're in some of similar circles of Black families and their kids, and so I knew of him, but did not volunteer on the campaign.
Well, how did you get on his staff?
So,
and Lauren Taylor is a former city councilman from District 6 here in Oakland, and he did run for mayor.
So I followed the campaign. It was, incredibly impressed by what he was proposing for our district, and new leadership and new ideas. And so I was immediately impressed.
And you became his, what do you call it, chief of staff?
Chief of staff. Yes.
And that was exciting, right?
It was very exciting. I really was excited for, this was an intentional career change for me. So I was very excited to come to City Hall, very excited to try to solve some problems in my own community where I'm raising 3 of my own kids. My mother lives down the street. And so I thought it was, just a blessing and a great opportunity to be able to.
Blessing and a great opportunity. Yeah. It's also a blessing that we're going to have to go to break. We're going to have to go to break because we have to have commercials. So don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and my host is Pamela Ferran.